opening up the keyhole and just looking outside. I'm like, no.
So then you get into the whole industry of like adult film. Was it what you expected doing your first scene? So you had been doing moonsaults off the top rope.
Oh my God.
I have implants.
I feel like I know of it somewhere. Why?
Why not?
I mean, I thought about it for a long while before I did it. I mean, I got a lot of uproar from the whole industry, but who are they to judge me?
Yeah, I mean, what are they?
They can all go to hell. They don't pay my bills.
No, you got a point.
And that's that.
Hello, happy Monday to everyone. Hi, Ben. Hi, Miguel. I see both of you guys out there in the chat. Hey, Scott, how are you? It is Monday. Hey, Paul, what's going on? Whoop, whoop. So anyway, hey, Nazmul, how are you today? I'm not sure where you're from, and I really hope that I'm saying your name properly because I feel really terrible when I don't. But welcome to Monday. It is a very wild start of the week. Yes, so a lot of things are going on. I'm not sure if I green screened my studio properly or not, but not that anyone should really know this, but I kind of became the resident of another state because of things that have just been going on over the past few months. And I'm suffering immensely from LTSD, liberal traumatic stress disorder. So it's a thing. It really is. But word from our sponsor really quick. If any of you are struggling with a Valentine's Day gift this year, the cheapest way to go is just giving the gift of COVID. It makes the perfect gift. Plus, it's cheap and it's easy to give. Okay, no, that was really a bad joke. Hi, John Jay. I'm sorry, but I was speaking to someone on the phone today, and we shouldn't be joking about COVID. I know, but the thing is, it's just such a funny joke, except the way the joke was told was that COVID makes a good Christmas gift. It's a great stocking stuffer. Okay, I'm going to stop. Okay. How is everyone this Monday? I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing. It's been a very loopy Monday for me. I've been working out, getting ready for some big news for March. Yes, John, did you know Jamie Lee Curtis is a hermaphrodite? So guys, if you're a hermaphrodite, you could do what a lot of you guys tell your friends to do. Go fuck yourself. Because, yeah, I think a hermaphrodite has two things, but that's been no new news about Jamie Lee Curtis, which is interesting. So yes, March, I will have some very great, exciting news, wrestling related. I just can't say what because I'll be a surprise, and surprises are very good. But catch me February 23rd, Sunday, between 12 to 3 p.m. at Jimmy World Order. That is in East LA. It's JWO. It's a really cool store, by the way. Lots of cool memorabilia, and I will be signing autographs with Sandman, which will be fun. I always like having these like type of mini reunions with, previous ECW alumni. Hey, Jeremy, how are you? Loera, Jeremy. Am I saying it properly? I don't like it when people say my name wrong or spell it wrong. And it just, it's one of those things where I don't know. I just don't like it. So I don't like saying people's names wrong. So I think Jeremy Loera knows about JWO, so it's Jimmy World Order. And no, I will not. Everyone's asking me what the big announcement is for March, but I'm not going to tell anyone. What can I say? It's just somewhere. It's just another place, but I'm not saying anything. John's saying that the reason he was never turned on by Jamie Lee Curtis is because she was a hermaphrodite. So that means she's like a partially dude or something. I mean, that's really scary, but nonetheless. Anyway, so I know you guys love it when I bring in hot chicks on the show. Like, I don't think I know anyone that is not hot, which is pretty scary. Even my cat's hot, but that's a guy. Anyway, so moving right along. So I was working at Horror Slam back in October, and I had a really good time because I finally got introduced to a Faygo hot dog, right? Faygo is amazing. Like, Faygo is a necessary part of culture. I don't care what anyone says. Like, you have to have a Faygo steak Faygo hot dog was great, but my favorite flavor of Faygo is the red. I think it's red rye. Is that what it is? I like that, but I also like the popsicle one. I don't know if I will, if I would actually have a cocktail to mix with that, because I want to come up with my own booklet of Faygo cocktails. Like in Europe, I always drink my Aperol spritz. So there's got to be a way I can make like a Faygo spritz, maybe the orange one. But anyway, it's the red pop is amazing. That's my favorite flavor of Faygo, and the icicle. So yes, I'm not telling anyone where I'm working next. I promise. I just can't. I just promise I wouldn't. As much as I want to, I just won't do it. But anyway, my next guest is definitely my definition of a blonde bombshell, okay? She can kick anyone's ass right now in the chat or anyone else watching this. Super buff, super gorgeous, and a very bright, bubbly personality, if you can imagine that. Yeah, and she's right now, she is the women's championship belt holder, duh. I'm having a blonde moment, for Juggalo Championship Wrestling. And for those of you who do not know what JCW is, so Insane Clown Posse, whoop, whoop, they have their own wrestling company, Juggalo Championship Wrestling, and this is the women's champ, and she's hot, and she's blonde. Oh, and she also likes cats. So let me bring her to the, add her to the stage. Let's welcome Miss Dani Mo, and I made the screen for her today. That's it.
Oh, hello. How are you? Very good. Very good. Excited. It's been a long day. This is a long, long day, and I'm excited to end my day with you.
I feel like Monday is the longest day of the week. What is in your background? I love it. They look like little.
So that's my Christmas tree. Where are we at? That's my Christmas tree. This is my favorite band is The Used. So this is from I got to meet them.
Okay.
Pictures, and then I made this one. I made that, and then this is from Breaking a World Record. And then that's some artwork that my tattoo artist did. That's some fan art. Got Taz, more art that my tattoo artist did. I like to have some art. I like art on my body, and I like art on my walls.
Well, what record was this that you broke?
The highest elevation women's pro wrestling match.
Wait a second. Now I'm curious. And by the way, you remind me very much, and I'm sure you guys are getting the vibe from her, a very high mountain Colorado type girl that lives up in the mountains, does all the snow sports, the pretty blonde look. That's totally what you remind me of right now.
I've never been to Colorado. I've snowboarded like twice, and I ate shit every time I did it, but it was so much fun. But yeah, I'm a dirt. I love dirt biking. That was like my thing before wrestling.
So wait a second. I ride as well. I've been riding motorcycles for, let's say, legally for about 10 years, illegally for about 18 years, and I've done dirt biking before. Huh?
I love riding. I have a CR 125.
Hey, Jamal, how are you? I never owned a dirt bike, but I would go riding. Okay, this is the really crazy part. The guy that was riding with me on the dirt bikes, he was up in this place called Apple Valley in California. So he was banging this kid's mom, who gave him like the land in the back of the house to go dirt bike riding. So I guess he got like, but it's nothing like riding a street bike, and people don't understand that. Like, you don't have to lean your body one way and the weight this way. It's so different.
So different. I'm not a street bike person. Like I've ridden on the back of my friends' street bikes, but like I like the dirt. I like dirt bike riding. I like woods riding. I did like 2 tracks, and I definitely ate shit on them, but it was still a lot of fun. But I like going in the woods. I like riding in the woods, testing myself, eating shit. I ran into so many trees, but like it's so much fun. It's a lot of fun, and there's so much adrenaline, and every time you ride, you push yourself. So it's been a while since I rode, but I do miss it.
I could see you doing that, even being like a woodland fairy. I'm sorry, I'm just obsessed by like the pretty blonde hair and like the blue eyes. And it's just so adorable.
Thank you.
Let's get back to your women's highest elevation championship wrestle. What is this now? What was that? Like,
So I got flown to Nepal to break. It's technically create and break a world record for the highest elevation women's pro wrestling match. So me and this girl Bhagwati, she's the first female Nepalian wrestler, and she just had this idea and was like, I want to break this world record, and somehow she chose me out of every female wrestler. I'm like, how did you even see me? Like, how do you even know me? But she said she saw me on I think YouTube, she said. I'm like, okay. And it was like a year and a half in the making. And she flew me out there. I was there for 10 days. And we helicoptered up to Kalapasar, it means Black Rock. It's during the trek to get up to Mount Everest. So Mount Everest was behind us, and they drilled holes into Kalapasar, put these posts in, and we used, because there's a lot of potatoes where we had to fly to then fly up to where we were. So they used the stuff that wraps around the potatoes as our rope. And we had, the mats that are like this thick that you put in your home gym from like Walmart. That we wrestled on 4 of those, and it was like a 3-minute match because we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, because the air quality is so different and like a lot less oxygen, like 50% less. And so we did promos, which we had to re-record because our brains were not letting us speak. And the match it was okay, but it was still a match. And I did a twist of fate up on Kalapasar. I got to show Matt Hardy. I was like, this is the highest elevation twist of fate you'll ever see. And I took a power bomb. So stupid, but it was safe. I took a power bomb as the finish. And now we have the world record. We're waiting on Guinness Book to get back and like approve it. But so far, World Record Book of London has approved it, and like we have our certificate from them.
that's amazing. I would never think of something like that going to Nepal, and that there's that there's a wrestler in that neck of the woods. Was she East Indian?
I guess it's Nepali. I don't like. It's like between India. It's between India and Pakistan, or not India. India and Pakistan, right?
Well, Nepalese,
Yes.
they have really good food. That's what I do know, because I love East Indian foods. I love foods like that. It's so good and so spicy. I don't know if you get that in your
Very spicy. There's a couple authentic places around, but not too much around my area.
Well, you strike me as like 18 or 19 years old, and don't be insulted. If you get 50 or 60, that's like you're going to age extremely well. Someone in the saying that they met you at Ring of Honor in 2008. Were you even born in 2008? Seriously?
No, so I didn't get involved in wrestling until 2014.
Okay.
I got introduced, like I knew who like John Cena and like Hulk Hogan, and I knew who like The Rock and everybody was, but like I didn't watch wrestling. So like the first wrestling I was introduced to was in 2013, and then I got involved in 2014. Actually, today was 11 years ago. I just posted it. Facade was wrestling Shane Strickland, and I was supposed to start a 5 more minute chant. Fuck that up. But whatever. The crowd, like they knew who I was, so like they weren't mean about it. But yeah, I started the 5 more minute chant, and that was like my introduction to start managing. It was so scary because I never wanted to do it. It was never like I never thought to be, I'm going to be a pro wrestler. It was never in the cards for me, I guess you could say.
Are you serious? Because it feels like you're just born to do it, like with your physique especially. And how many hours a day do you work out?
My workouts tend to be about 2 hours with stretching before, and if I add cardio in at the end, about 2 hours.
Yeah, I gotta stretch more often, I think, because I'm always in pain. So let's go back. I just feel like it sometimes. It's like I don't like. Then you go to the gym and then you see people all laid out and stretch it. It's like, do I have to really look at your fucking crotch? Like seriously, this is disgusting. Like I do not want to be here. I don't want to see up. Then you get the girls with the strip bar clothing, the those shorts. You know the booty
The
shorts.
spandex shorts? Yeah.
But they're super tight. It's like, yeah, so you gotta sanitize whatever they rub their butt against. Seriously. Um,
I work out in sweats. Sometimes I wear like leggings or like a tank top, depending on the weather. But like this whole past month, I'm just like in the baggiest sweat clothes ever. Like the only time I'm in tight clothes is when I'm in the ring, really.
Yeah, but with a body like yours, dude, I'd want to show it off. But I get what you're saying because I don't dress skimpy at the gym, and I feel as though the girls that dress skimpy there are normally the girls that don't really dress skimpy for work, possibly. Like your outfit is business casual in my eyes. That's totally what it
Yeah.
is.
They're like, I want to show my body, and they have no other way to show it. So they're like, I'm going to show it at the gym. And if you have a physique and you're confident in it, like, go for it. Like, I wish I had the confidence to dress like that at the gym, but I don't. I don't. I have the confidence to dress like that in the ring, but not at the gym.
I totally get it. Yeah. And then I found some guy like calling me a fat whale and he was posting it on Instagram. I didn't know this. So someone told me, hey, there's some guy calling you a fat whale at the gym. So I found it. They made him take it down, but I took the video for myself and I started posting it. He's like, oh, look, it's the fat whale. It's like, what the fuck?
You made a post about that. I was so confused. I didn't understand why. I'm like, very far from that, but I didn't understand.
I have no idea, but in all reality, guys, like a gym is technically not it's not a public space because you're paying a membership and people go to the gym without the expectation of being filmed. So it's always courteous to ask people around them, hey, can I take a video of you and call you a fat slob? So what, it's true. What brought you into wrestling? Did you start as a manager? Like, how did that journey start? And well,
Facade, the Neon Ninja. That's how I got involved. That's how I found out about wrestling. That's how I learned pretty much everything that I know. So it was. So I was dating him, and then they're like, one promotion we were working for. They're like, you should manage, and I'm like, no way, no way. I don't want to be in front of crowds. That's not my thing. Like I was a bowler and and I ride dirt bikes. Like nobody's seeing any of that. Nobody cares about that stuff. And finally, they convinced me to do it. And slowly over time, I started managing at more shows. And then, because he always had like amazing freaking matches with like crazy opponents, like AJ Styles, Penta and Phoenix, like crazy people. Like, and I got to be involved. And they'd be like, I would be involved in like a moment and they're like, hey, can you do this? And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Can you just show me what it is? And I could do it because like I did gymnastics as a kid, like up till I was like 15 years old. So like I know how to move my body. And it just started evolving. And then when Prasad went to India, because he was the head trainer at Great Khali's Academy for 6 months, he lived out there. And I got my dental work done because I broke my face. I got dropped on concrete in college. So this is all fake teeth. Crazy photos. I repost them every April for like the anniversary. I'll have to send you some. And so I got all my dental work done. I have 4 implants right here. And after that, I was like, F it. Let's start like, because I had to like, I learned backwards. I learned all the cool stuff first, and then I learned like the chaining and all that, which I still have to work on. You constantly work on everything that you do in the ring. But so then I had my first match October of 2019. Crazy. So much craziness happened in between starting to manage until I had my first match. Like, and I was like, oh my God. And since I had all the dental work done, I wear this big ass mouth guard just to protect my teeth.
well, that could be a gimmick, really.
I think people are like, are you wearing a mouth guard or is that your teeth? Because I have a white one and then I have colored ones. But I used to come out with it in, which took away my smile and all the money I invested into my face. Like overall, I like broke my nose, and then all the dental and facial work. So I put about $80,000 into my face already. So I was like, I'm hiding what I spent a lot of money on. So I stopped. I wear my mouth guard in my top, and then after I get in the ring and after the announcements, right before the match starts, I then bring the mouth guard up, and then I make it a thing to put it in. Even though not like a yeah.
It's like letting the fans in on your secret.
Yeah.
So let's look at some of the comments in the chat. So Loera Jeremy, I don't know if I even said his name right. He says, both look great. Scotty Hawk says, Dani is my downstairs neighbor, so I know she's a really cool person. Paul, thank you for the mug.
Scott.
Thank you. Then let's see. So it's great seeing you at Horror Slam. Mikael Niklas says, hi, Dani. John J. She is not in Michigan. She's somewhere else. Hey, Jamal, how are you? Hi, guys and girls.
Hello.
And people who don't want you. girls, it's totally fine. But everyone knows before I do my live stream, I'm usually right at the gym. So this is the Jasmin, the gym look. So I've got to ask you about this because I started in the business. Like I learned how to work first before managing because I feel as though managers should know how to work because you get the psychology down, right? You know
yes.
what the moves are in the ring, so what your spots are. You know, there's some girls, they don't know what a moonsault is. And then, well, after I hit the moonsault, you cane him. And if you're a manager and you don't know, it's like, So that's much respect to you for doing that. Where did you learn to wrestle?
So in like going to shows with Fasad, like just as managing, like he's always in the ring at the beginning of every show, like always like first one there, last one out. And I would learn stuff going to shows. I would go to practice with him. So between like him, Joaquin Wild, like I did a few of his, like when they would practice, like he's taught me a bunch of stuff. So on the road and just like being told what to do. And then after I got my dental work done, I started training with Chris LaRusso. He was training over at IWC in Pittsburgh, and I was going to his classes to like learn from the beginning. So it's like I did all the cool stuff. I learned all that, and I knew psychology before I learned how to chain. So like I feel like in a way I was like ahead of it because I already knew the psychology because I listened and watched these matches get called, and I learned what worked and what didn't work as they called it, and then as the match happens, and then when you talk about it after, like you learn what works and what doesn't work. And I really try to apply all of that. And also I got to do so many seminars. I was doing seminars way before I even thought I was ever going to wrestle. Like I honestly did not want to wrestle. I never wanted to. I was just like, nah, I'll stay managing. But I did so many seminars and I learned a lot from there. And you just pull what works for you from each person, and then you create your own you.
It makes sense for the most part. Is there anyone you've not had a match with yet that you'd like to work with?
There's a lot of people. Off the bat. Let's see. There's a couple I've been wanting to work. I am going to be coming up that I just can't say yet. Like there's some stuff coming up that will be some first time matchups. Allison Kay, I really want to work Allison Kay. I've been really pushing for that. So if anybody want to book that, let's do it. I feel like I could definitely learn a lot from her. But yeah, there's more people coming in or coming up, matches coming up that are on people on my list that I get to work, but I don't want to say yet.
No, I totally get it. Surprises are great in wrestling. So Paul would love to see you work with Mercedes Martinez, who's great. I really like.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be real fun. That'd be like a clash of styles, and I love those types of matches, like where it's two different styles, and she's like a beat your ass person, and like I like that because then I feel like that gives me the extra push to keep evolving as me as a wrestler. So I would love to have a match with her too.
Yeah, I worked with her once at a signing, and she's really cool, laid back. She'd probably spank you red. So
For sure.
how did a nice, cute, like you're so adorable. I'm so sorry, I keep saying that, but how did you get mixed up with juggalos of all things? I think they're great, by the way.
So Facade got called to do a show, and I got booked alongside, and the rest is history. I was so scared going in because I'm like, I'm gonna be so. I felt like I was gonna be super judged because I didn't grow up being a juggalo. Like I knew who ICP was. Like me and my friend Lindsay. Oh my god, we would make the coolest mixes. And what's I think it's when ICP and 3-6 Mafia made a song. That was the first time I ever heard it, and it's like I'm gonna stab you with an umbrella and open it. Like when Jay says that at the beginning of that 3-6 Mafia song, like we're like, this is so cool. We love this, and we would blast it. I had an S10. We would just fucking blast it in my car. But like, so I knew who they were. Like I owned like 2 of their CDs, but like I didn't know the culture. And ever since I got to do that first show of Lunacy tapings in Ohio, like I'm like, this is awesome. Like, and now it's really cool because like all the juggalettes, like they message me, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. And like they look up to me, and they say that I'm an inspiration. And I'm like, this is really cool. And it's like a whole other, like, it's really a family. Like both the juggalos, the juggalettes, and JCW in itself, like it's so much. I'm so blessed to be a part of it. And this is my little baby right here. My baby.
Yeah. Oh, look at the belt. I love that belt. It's a really pretty pink, right? Like a bright pink almost, like a fuchsia. So that's the Juggalo Championship Wrestling Women's Championship. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, so it's red. I don't know what my lighting looks like. Yeah.
It's very feminine.
There we go. I love this title. I love this title. And it's an honor to be the first ever women's title holder. So crazy shit. And I love it. Even though I look like an outsider, I was welcomed in, and that's a cool feeling, and that just goes to show like how welcoming the juggalo community is. Even though people like might say this or that about it, like give it a freaking chance, man. Like it's so fun, and you get to be yourself and everybody should go to a JCW show. Everybody should go to an ICP show. Like you need to experience it. It's not just a concert, it's not just a wrestling show, it's a freaking experience every time. And it's fun.
Like it. Like I worked with, it was a JCW crowd in Colorado. It was a big deathmatch tournament. And
Okay.
I think I sold t-shirts to more girls than I did guys that weekend. It says something about the culture of what they have, and I feel as though, hey, Ian's from Australia, I get really like I saw that Tila Tequila video. Do you remember Tila? Did you have MySpace, or were you still in diapers?
No, I had MySpace. I had AIM. I had all that jazz.
Remember Tila Tequila on MySpace?
Yep. She's crazy. I thought she was crazy. I was like, oh my god.
Did you see what happened to her at the gathering?
I did. I heard about it. I don't remember exactly, but I know it was like, weren't people like throwing shit at her and stuff? Like it was, she was not welcomed. And I'm like, oh man. I don't know why. I don't know what it might have been something she said. I don't know.
She was making fun of the clowns, and she didn't know how to say whoop whoop, so she didn't like her. No, I think she was acting like a hoe because she was doing hoey shit already. So if you act like a hoe on your MySpace, that's great. but don't get on the stage at the gathering and do host shit with your stuff sticking out and making fun of juggalos and juggalettes. Because I got
Yeah,
scared.
no, don't do that.
I was like really scared. I'm like, okay, there are clowns there. I was caning the fuck out of a clown, but they didn't care. The girls were like, yeah, keep going, yeah. So I think they like it, but I just was very scared. But yeah, I don't anticipate like doing like going to anything else like that ever. But I would if given the chance to do that.
This will be well, in 2 weeks we have Juggalo weekend up in Massachusetts, and then a bunch of stuff is coming up, and then also this will be never in my life thought I would be going to the gathering, but I'll be going to the gathering, so that's good. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm nervous and excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
What's your favorite Faygo? Or what's your favorite flavor of Faygo?
I like root beer. I know that's so lame, but I love root beer.
I like it. I think everything they do is amazing. Faygo. I wonder how Faygo played into Juggalo culture, like how that whole thing started. Are there a lot of Juggalos where you live?
So I'm in Pittsburgh. I don't really. Facade would be more the one to answer that one because like he used to do like Kennywood Day, like Juggalo Kennywood Day, which is like the little theme park in our area. So like there is a scene here. I just don't know how big it is because we haven't had a JCW show nearby here. But like there's definitely a crowd to be seen here in Pittsburgh in the local areas.
I think it's so cool. Yeah, I was following everything you guys are doing. So if you guys in the Boston area, New England, they have shows in Worcester at the Palladium. It's Juggalo Championship Wrestling Weekend or just Juggalo Weekend. So just go on out. Even if you've never been to an ICP show or around Juggalos, it's just fun to go to the culture. It's fun people. It's great food. Hopefully they have those Faygo dogs because those are so
I'm sure they will. I think we tried them at the same time at that Horror Slam show because that's when I met you.
Yeah.
What did I have? I think I had I don't know if I had the orange or the red pop one, but it was good. I was surprised. I love a good hot dog. I don't like to talk about what a hot dog actually is because then it makes me not want to eat a hot dog. But like, it was very intriguing to eat a Faygo hot dog. I'm like, I would eat more of these for sure.
Oh my God, I love Faygo soda, but one thing I like about ICP, I love the Juggalos because they're just so much fun, at the shows, and they're just so easygoing. I don't think people understand the culture of it, but it's not like they're not dangerous people. And I think it's like everything else in life. If you go somewhere and you act up like an idiot, right? Like even at Comic-Con, you'll get jumped by a bunch of nerds. So it's the same. I think you could make Faygo steak or something like that. So one thing I've noticed a lot with JCW is they've been doing a lot of invasion angles with GCW as of late. Do you have any plans of being involved in that, or is that a surprise? C'est un surprise.
I hope so. I feel so bad because I really wanted to have a singles match with Allie, but she just got injured, so that I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I was hoping to do that, but I don't think that'll happen. But who knows what this year's going to bring us? Who knows?
I feel like it's a weird year. Like I just so want to spill this news, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna be normal. I'll be a normal, calm and collected adult. Yeah, I'm not a fucking adult, please. We've never grown up. Look what we do. The grape Faygo dogs are good with mustard. Yeah, I had that. That's the flavor I had was grape. And there's no shame in having Faygo dogs piled on with like sauerkraut and stuff like that. Yeah, I think Alley Catch is great. She would be a good one for you. Or even what I'd like to see is a JCW invasion into Impact Wrestling. What are your thoughts on the monsters at JCW?
The monsters. Wow, I got clotheslined backwards over with 7 foot tall, painful Paul, and I was like, oh my God, I think I'm not like a super flexible person, but in the ring, I become flexible. Like, I don't know how it happens, but I was clotheslined the fuck over that top rope in one of the rumbles during the Train of Terror, and I was like, I'm dying. I am dead. Like in my head, I felt like I could bend forward and touch my toes, but I felt like I bent backwards because that is a big man. He went to chokeslam me. Facade pulled me down. We were trying to beat him up, and then he took us out. And I was like, I'm done for. But and then Congo Kong.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like scary, but not. Like I feel like he wants to be good, but also he's just very scary. So I don't know.
I met him
I like Congo.
Yeah. He's funny because he saw me with a batch of light tubes, and I think they probably weren't aware that I was working with a lot of weapons for 2.5 years. And he's like, well, just when you hit it, just step back. I'm like, no, it's okay. I got this. I'm not going to just like hold my breath. But my arm's been like cut up from just in the line of fire with, being there when someone else was hitting someone with a light tube or whatever it was. So I've gotten my share of cuts and glass lodged into my arms. One thing I noticed is you didn't really have weapons in your match. I don't see a lot of blood at the JCW shows. Do they do death matches? Like, tell me the theme of it, because I don't feel people really grasp it yet. I think it's hardcore wrestling.
I would say more hardcore than deathmatch. Like Mickey Knuckles, she's crazy. She's scary, but awesome and like fun, and like everybody freaking loves her. And like there might be some blood within her matches, like she carries his axes. Like I thought one time I had a singles match where I was like, oh my god, but the ref stopped her from bringing it over. But there's not a lot of blood. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But I think it's more. It's not a deathmatch company. It's definitely not. It's more fun, crazy, different, character-based, storyline-based, hardcore, chaos. Like, it's pretty everything but deathmatch, really. I'm sure there might be, like, some, but I think maybe in the past there was a lot more, like, I don't know. Again, I got into wrestling super late, like 2013. So, like, outside of what I watched or what some sent to me to watch, like, I don't really know a lot of history, but I can learn it. But it's not about the blood and the guts.
Yeah, I get so creeped out. I get squeamish around blood. Like I get the vitamin infusions sometimes. I don't like needles. You should see me jumping up and down. Like one day I jumped and the needle went flying out of my arm.
Vitamin infusions? That sounds crazy.
Yeah, just like I have really good veins too. So they just put the needle in you and they put all kinds of vitamins in there, like so you don't age, and gives you like
is it like the NADs? Like I want to do that. I mean, I don't know how, it's probably expensive as fuck, but like I definitely want to try.
I do,
because I don't want to do any surgeries. I had to get done. I don't want to do any of that. Like I had to get freaking surgeries. I didn't do them just to get them done. So like I'd rather take good care of my skin or NADs or vitamins. Like I'd rather do that kind of stuff before I have to go other routes. I'm tired of surgeries.
Like I do NAD injections in my stomach every day. They have NAD space now, so it's like a whole new world out there that they did not have back in the 90s or the early 2000s, and I'm taking advantage of it as much as I can. But the secret is the NAD. Like it helped my hair quite a bit in the past few months. And copper, you see, it's all these things. It's good for the guys too. Like guys, you should be doing this too. Like guys always complain about girls not looking that great. Sometimes not us, by the way. But seriously, guys, you guys got to get on your shit as well. NAD, copper. Don't take testosterone though. You don't need that.
I'm not. No, exactly. I don't take anything. I have. I take magnesium, vitamin K, and vitamin D.
Yeah, vitamin
and sometimes lion's mane.
Lion's mane, yeah. I heard vitamin D, you could overdose on it, or it could be toxic if you take too much. Is that true? Did you hear anything about that?
You like your body releases it. Like if it's too much, your body releases it, and you can see it in your pee. But I I know I take the three of them stacked together at night because each one helps the other absorb into your body better. I don't know specifics, but I do know taking magnesium, K, and D together help each other get into your system.
I just learned
That's what I
something.
do.
Oh my God. So, Paul, I did not know about this about you. I had no idea that you worked with XPW on the Rebirth in Rochester. What was that like?
So all I did was manage. I only managed. Facade wrestled, and they were the first. They were the first match. It was fun. I loved everybody that was on the show. Like it was see everybody, and like I think the only downfall that people didn't like was it wasn't because it's New York. You can't bleed in New York. You can't do that. So people were like upset about that, but like it was still a great freaking show. Like it's okay if there's not blood and guts everywhere. Like it was still a fucking great show with great wrestlers and like all the matches were amazing and it like everybody should go like rewatch that and yeah, it was time and it was different. It was a decent drive too. That was a pretty far drive.
Yeah, from where you are, for sure. I just, I see all these trends in wrestling. I feel as though in some companies, it's just people getting spots in. Like, you got to do your spot, do more spots, and up the ante this way, that way. And there's not really any storytelling, which is what makes JCW different than other companies, guys. It gives it a different value to the product. What are your thoughts on a lot of the other companies that are out there, like the AEWs, the Impacts, those things?
I think each one has its own quality. There's so much wrestling, and being honest, I don't watch all of it. Like, I will watch like highlights a lot more than like the full episode. Like, I have Raw on behind me or in front of me right now, but like, but I think he has its own special thing. Like, I think WWE has it all. AEW is like more so like on the indie side of like everybody has a really freaking cool match. Like that's awesome. And like everybody's getting so much opportunity. That was so great when that company came out. And DNA, I think they have a lot of storyline based stuff. And they have a lot I like how they have more not gimmick, I don't know what the right word is, but they have the X division and then like they have these different areas that people can excel and they do like the tag matches and like there's a lot more different opportunity that they have that WWE doesn't offer that AEW doesn't offer. So like each one has its own piece that is really good for wrestling. And everybody, whether you like this or that or the other, there's always something for somebody to watch.
I could totally see you working there. So Scott Hawk says, by the way, I'm almost 35, no, only almost 65, and I am an ICP fucking freak. Thank you, Toby, Danny, and word for word, yo, I eat Monopoly and shit out Connect 4. Okay, I used to play Connect 4. I don't know if I'll look at Connect 4 the same after this. Yeah, I like Raw. I think they have a lot of great stuff on Monday Night Raw and an NXT. I was so happy to see Dawn Marie appear on NXT, by the way. That was great. So what are your aspirations? Is it to actually end up in WWE, or are you going to tell me the same thing Viva Van did, just to go wherever it takes me? And she's an AEW.
I want to end up in WWE. I feel like I could learn so much there because like they have NXT and they have the training and the schooling and like the classes. Like I want to end up there because I think I could evolve so much more. And they have such great people down there as like producers and everything, like both like on Raw, on SmackDown, in NXT, like you can learn so much and you can continuously learn. Like that would be the only downfall about TNA and AEW is they don't have a home base. Mm-hmm. WWE has a home base where you can always go and train and lift and be coached. Obviously, you could just message somebody and be like, "Hey, can you watch my match? Can you like give me some tips and tricks and whatever?" But end goal is WWE, and in one form or another, whether it's wrestler or any other piece. Because like I have a sport management degree, so I could be involved in wrestling in any aspect. So I want to be a wrestler first. Secondarily, if it doesn't work out in my favor, I still want to be involved.
I think you'll have it. I could totally see you there. You have the right look, the right attitude. And Steve Carino, he was just on my show this past week on my podcast. And, he really marvels quite a bit when it comes to helping young talent. And they have a lot of great stuff. I could totally see you doing it 100%. I'm sure a lot of you guys can, see Dani and, in Raw one night, like coming out as a surprise. JCW has quite a bit of surprises, I think, lined up.
So many surprises. So much.
I know, like so many surprises. It's so cool. That's what I like about that. Their company's grown so much more in the past year, and then they're more prominent now that they're doing stuff with GCW. Did you end up doing GCW at the Hammerstein?
No, I did not. I was home for that. There's a good amount of JCW people out there though, so that was cool to like represent them.
Now, someone here is saying that you got WWE Raw. There was a 6-woman tag team match. It was Dani Mo, Kayla Sparks, Katie Yockett, and Asuka and Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair. Tell me about that. How did that come about for you?
So we were doing extra work, and it was like a 2-day. We did Friday, and then we did Monday, and Monday was in Pittsburgh, and it's like a 1 in a million chance that like 3 women get the opportunity to perform live on Raw, and I was lucky enough to be one of those women. And yeah, it was live in Pittsburgh on Raw. And Katie is also from Pittsburgh. We have a fun little rivalry going. I love working her. She should be back very soon from a slight injury, so I can't wait for her to be back. But yeah, there was 3 of us versus Asuka, Bianca, and Alexa. And I started the match off, and then I took the pin from Asuka.
That's not
good old tab out. But it was a cool full circle moment because years ago, before I even started wrestling, like I was like just kind of starting to wrestle, but like not really. And me and Lady Frost were doing extra work, and it was between me and her to do a segment with Asuka, which it started with like a live interview, and then it ended in a match with Asuka. And I shouldn't even have been there. I had just got my implants in. I just got the 4 implants in, like not even 2 weeks prior. I wasn't even supposed to have my like flipper, my 6'2" flipper in, but I convinced my dentist to like, hey, can I have this so I can go do this job? And so my dentist did it for me, but I freaked out. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not ready. And the finish was a super kick to the face. And I was like, I'm not healed. I freaked out. And so that was Frost's debut match on Raw. And it was a really cool moment for her. But like years later, I don't think I was ready at that moment. And I didn't let that moment happen. And years later, I still got to be in the ring with Asuka. So I think it was worth the wait. I think I was better equipped and more knowledgeable 4 years later, or 19, 20, 21, 22. 3 years later. 3 years later, it came full circle.
Yeah, I love Asuka, and I hope that JCW gets some Japanese wrestlers. I worked for Big Japan, and it was such a different experience working in Japan. They don't really have managers there, so I think female managers. So I think I might have been one of the first, like not like Mr. Danger or anything like that, but it was really interesting. It's a different culture, but those girls are insane. And when I go into the ring at Horror Slam, I'm like, is this girl like going to come back a bloody mess? Like, there's no way she's going out there and she's getting like gig marks all over her face. There's no way. So you came back. I'm like, thank God.
Oh, we had that four-way tag match. Yeah. The craziest thing I did in that match was like a dildo fight with Randy.
Oh, that's just horrible. My virgin ears. I've never seen they do those in Mickey Knuckles match with Ludark. She's the Mexican wrestler that I completely adore. So I could totally see you getting into WWE, and hopefully JCW goes overseas. I know that there's a lot of on their agenda, and they have some great surprises coming up over the next few months. I'm friends with your tag champion. Champions. Yes.
Sassy.
So you have quite a bit of interesting art that we talked about before. And to circle back really quick, because I'm still like obsessed with the fact that you like dirt bikes. Did you ever go to flat track races?
Go where?
Flat track races.
Like to watch?
Yeah.
I went to, oh my God. It's the big motocross event that happens I don't remember what it's called, but I've been to like 2 or 3 big races, and that's about it. And then like my friends would do woods races, like the enduro races, and I would go and like you walk around the woods as they're racing. So I've been to a couple of those, but it was more so just like on the weekends, go with the guys, and we go in the woods for freaking hours upon hours, and then have a bonfire at the end of the night, and then maybe it's nice tomorrow. All right, let's meet back up tomorrow again. Like, so it was. I didn't really go to a lot of races. I liked doing it. I didn't enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed doing it.
I could see you doing the flat tracks. So I used to write for a motorcycle magazine. I would test ride motorcycles. I get gear. Yeah, they would send me, it was called Sports Bike Inc. as an IMC. So I had my column, it was called Fox on the Run. And like if I did this long journey, like I went up the California coast to Cambria, then to Monterey. It was like 20 something degrees outside too. It was one of the coldest winters in California. So a company gave me heated gloves to review. It was a bunch of stuff. So it was really interesting. I was freezing my ass off, and then I thought I broke down at one point, but I didn't. I was in the middle of the night. And that's dangerous when you're a female rider by yourself, and you get something happens. So you got to know how a bike works. So I did a whole thing on bike fixes for women, all this stuff. Like I think it's important for girls to ride their own bikes.
Yeah.
And
that's so cool. I didn't know that about you. That's freaking awesome.
Well, here's the thing. Like I wrote this. This is what inspired it. And sorry, I just have to tell this story because everyone might laugh. Okay. Randy and Mickey always roll with a plastic shopping bag full of toys. Yeah, because they probably use it on each other. So years ago, so when Sons of Anarchy was a thing, this guy was talking to me that was on the show, right? So I had no interest in him. Like, I don't give a fuck. So he took me out on the back of his bike. I'm like, look, I normally don't ride in the back of a bike, but that's fine. We're at a stop, and he's smoking weed, like vaping off some pen. Soon as we got to the bottom of the hill, I just got off the bike. I'm like, I don't give a fuck who you are or who you think you are, but this is like the stupidest shit ever. Oh, you want to do coke? I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking do coke. I'm like, dude. So that's
I just want to ride.
Where did that come from? So that inspired my article about women riding their own bikes and getting a starter bike. So I could see you doing flat track races. You should look it up because you'd be the perfect flat track racer. And I know, John, you know what flat track racing is. So I did a couple of those in my time, the hooligans. It's called a hooligan race, but they have the dirt bikes. They got all that other stuff. And it's like right up your alley. And they probably have them in Pennsylvania as well.
Okay, so is flat track just dirt bikes, or is that like street bikes? That's the street bike one.
Yeah, then they have like.
So is that where you wear like the super protective gear, and you're literally like sideways, and your knee is like almost rubbing the ground when you're taking the turns? Okay, so I worked at my externship from college, like my final 12 credits. I worked at VIR, Virginia International Raceway. I got to live on down in the paddock, and I worked for a kids summer camp called Camp Motorsport, and so I lived there for 2 summers. It was so cool. Like I lived in a trailer literally down on the paddock, like right at the track. It was the coolest experience ever. And I got to teach kids from all different countries to like come and learn how to like ride go-karts and teach them the physics and all this stuff. Like I don't remember any of it right now, but like I got to teach them like in class, and then they would go apply it to like the actual fun activities. And so that happened during the week, and then we'd always have the weekends off, and races and stuff would come. And actually, one of the engineers that worked with me, she raced the bikes. Like she was she did that. And I got to watch a bunch of those races. I didn't even realize that's what it was. Like day one of getting there, I was watching that kind of race. And I didn't even click until you just said that. It's so cool. Yeah, that scares me. I'm not that crazy. That scares me.
Do it. You have to try it at least once. You don't have to wear that outfit, by the way. It is recommended, like John said. But those things are super freaking expensive. So Paul Corbin says he does want to know: do you have any memories of working with Tessa Blanchard in Broadheadsville for PPW?
Yeah, I got to work against her, which I met her when I first started managing. And like when you're managing, I'm sure you've experienced this, like people aren't the nicest to you. The girls aren't necessarily the nicest to you. And I'm like, I'm just here to manage and have fun. Like I'm not trying to take anybody's spot or anything like that. I'm here to have fun, and this is exciting. Like this is fun. And she was always so nice to me. Like she was always so nice to me in Facade. And like to finally get to wrestle her, I was like, I'm gonna learn so fucking much. And I know I'm gonna get my ass handed to me like in the same time, but like in the best way. So we got to have a match together, and then we ended up teaming together and wrestled Cosmic and oh my god, I just forgot his name, but he's the champ at PPW right now. But like we got to have it was pretty much an intergender tag match, so it was a lot of fun. I liked working with her, and I feel like I learned a lot.
Yeah, she was nice to me. I've never had a problem with like female wrestlers. Like only once when XPW came to California, and it was their first show back. It was just like one of the girls in the back kind of being like bitchy. So she got schooled real fast as to what was what and like who was who and whose house it was. So then everything was cool after that. But she was only there for that show. I think there's a room for everyone in this business. And one thing I noticed in Europe is they do use a lot of managers in the United Kingdom. So Joe Dredd is going there in September with his manager, Jury. I work with them like a shit ton of times. I used to love caning Jury with my stick because I think his hair would get caught up in it sometimes. But anyway, it's not fun. So do you have not to be inappropriate. So do you have an OnlyFans? Do you do anything like that? Like do customs? And a lot of girls do. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't.
I've done a couple custom shoots with NEFW and then down in Florida with Lexi Fife. But I don't do that too often. I'm pretty well booked, and I never really actually get the opportunity to do that. I like being in front of the live crowd. I feel like I learn a lot, but I also learn a lot doing customs. I did learn a lot doing them, but it's like not my number one priority. I do have an OnlyFans, but I honestly don't use it. I don't do anything on it. Like I don't really put myself out there that way. Like I'm my own weird, sexy, I guess you could say. I don't know. But like I just like my I like my t-shirts. I like my sweatpants. I like to wear my bathing suits, and then I don't know. I'm just not like that type of sexy. But I do have one, but honestly, I don't use it. But I do have Only Wrestlers account. I have to get more content on there. But I will be on their first ever show out in Hollywood, California in March. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know. I heard about. I'm on their platform too. I haven't really posted much. I'm not booked on any of the shows, but I'm just on the platform. It's interesting, and like I do have OnlyFans, but just so I have the page There's hardly anything
Yeah.
on it. I just don't want anyone taking it over and like doing stupid shit because people do dumb stuff out there. Not my cup of tea. I don't know how you have
No.
patience with customs. I
I literally say no a lot. It's just like it says in your profile, no this, no, 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 no. But then those are the things you keep asking. I can't even entertain this because that's not me. There's other people that could do it, go to them. Like I don't know. I'm like, it's like my family follows my stuff. Like my niece looks up to me, and I have little kids that look up to me, and like I don't want to do anything that if they saw it that I'm embarrassed or ashamed of. So I'm PG teen.
I think it's very Disney and very adorable. Like I didn't give a shit. I didn't give a fuck. Job, but yeah. So definitely, I will be looking out for all of your things in JCW and stalking it around like crazy. I can't wait. And real quick, what were you doing before wrestling? Like, if you didn't end up wrestling, what do you think you'd be doing?
So out of college, I wanted to work for NASCAR at one of the tracks in their event manager. So I wanted to make sure like this weekends went like tip top, like sponsors make sure everybody has their tents. Like I wanted to run events with NASCAR, but in the sport management industry, once you have that good job, you don't leave that job till you die. So it's so hard to get those positions in any sport because there's always somebody waiting for that next person to leave or die or move on or retire kind of deal. So like, you always have to start from the bottom, which is fine. That's justified. But yeah, I wanted to work for NASCAR, and then I sent out so many resumes, reached out to so many people. I made so many connections when I worked at VIR, like with the race. I guess it would be more like the Indy racing crowd, and like a whole different side, not necessarily NASCAR, but like, and nothing really stuck. And then I moved home. And then I went back to working at Victoria's Secret, and so I worked at Victoria's Secret, and then I rode my dirt bike. That's what I did.
Yeah, that's quite the combination. I would never expect a Victoria's Secret saleswoman or manager to be dirt bike riding as well. But that's great. I think that's awesome. And by the way, I still think it is awesome that you have your Christmas tree that you have up there with all the lights. That is like the cutest thing. And are you going to keep it like that? Or are you going to take it down? Don't take it down.
Stays.
No, leave it.
It stays all year. It stays there. It stays all year. Sometimes I decorate it, but like I feel like every holiday I've been gone. Like I changed the lights out from the Christmas colors to this, but generally speaking, like I'll be gone for Valentine's Day. And like I don't care for Valentine's Day, but like I'll be gone, so it doesn't matter if it's decorated. Halloween it was decorated, but I was gone on the Trade of Terror tour, so I didn't even get to like encompass in like all of the Halloween decorations because I was gone. But yeah, I leave it up and I'll throw like random different holidays, different things to accentuate the holiday.
See, I feel that's why I think you're in some winter wonderland town between like the blonde and like the blue, which are very wintry colors, and then all the like neon frosts in the back. Neon frost or like little wintry pastels. It looks cute though, or Easterish. Which reminds me, I've got to have a Cadbury Easter egg today because Cadbury Easter eggs are like my favorite thing. I know.
Dude, hold on. Look.
Everyone knows about the Cadbury Easter egg story. We're not going to tell her. We're just going to let her like whip out the Cadbury Easter egg. But those of you who do follow me know about the Cadbury Easter egg story from last year. Oh my God.
I love these. I love these. These are like my favorite. I stock up because they're like Easter, and I freaking stock up. And they're softer this year. Usually the shell's really hard. I ate a bag last night, and it seems so much softer than normal. I love these.
You have to know the story of the Cadbury Easter egg. And there are guys on here that don't know the story. And I think Megan Nielsen, you're friends with Megan, right?
Yeah.
She knows
She
the
messaged
story.
me. She was so excited. She was so excited whenever she found out I was on here.
So she knows the story because she was with me at the bar at WrestleMania last year. And some weirdo, I don't know what he said. I don't. Oh, I had a Cadbury Easter egg in my pocket, and I put it up on my on the bar. It was just there, right? So this wackadoodle was saying he just thought it was great to say, "Oh yeah, I like to jack off with Cadbury Easter eggs." I'm like, what? So Megan,
Weird.
I think she's been a bit. Oh, I love hearing stories about jacking off, and I think she's being just cute and bubbly. I said, you don't want to hear this. But the guy, it turns out, was some wacko that got busted for jacking off under a poker table in Vegas.
Ugh. So he has a problem.
I'll still have Cadbury Easter eggs, though. I won't look at them the same. Are you going to WrestleMania at all this year, to the convention?
Potentially. I don't know 100% just yet. But maybe I want to work Spark Joshi Puro. I was the first ever match for their debut, and I got to do a tour with them last year, or I guess it was 2 years ago. It wasn't. They didn't really run last year, but we did California and then we did Florida, and then I worked Mania. I got to work Azumi AZM and Kayoko Inoue, and that was so fun. That was so much fun, and they were the sweetest. And I hope I get to I want to work them again, like in singles matches or even I don't care, triple threat again. But the reason I would go to Mania is to work for Spark.
I could see you working Viva Van one day. That's what I could see.
So we did work one time in Kentucky, this place called New South Wrestling. It was so much fun. She's such a sweetheart. That girl you meet good people and then you meet good humans. Like she is a good human, and I like her. She's genuine, and we had a lot of fun. And I was still pretty new at the time, and I think she was newer also. But we had a really fun match. I'll send you the link. It should be up on YouTube if you just type Dani Mo versus her. So you should be able to find it.
Yeah, I'm on her Instagram. I know she's at 70,000 tons of metal right now. So she's taking photos on this boat in a bikini every day. So my friend Joe has the hots for her. So I tag him in every single one of the photos. I'm just ask
Oh my god.
So yeah. Well, anyway, so moving right along, we need to know what your socials are because I'm sure guys are going to want to follow you and see where you're wrestling next. Make the time to go to a JCW show, guys. It's not violent. Yes. It's not crazy. It's not like going to a mosh pit.
So much fun. And there's I just posted right before I got on all of my stuff that is announced coming through the beginning of April. So if you follow my stories, and I made where's it at? How do I put there? Right there. All of my socials, everything from YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything is at Real Dani Mo, RealDaniMo, everything. So if you just type that in, you should find me on every piece of social media.
Yeah, I'm looking at your stories right now. Okay, so March 6th, 7th, and 8th, it's JCW Wrestling in at the Fremont Station at the casino there, or the Country Club on the 6th, and on the 7th they're in Phoenix, Arizona, and then the 8th, Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was not reading off a teleprompter. And then in April is the 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. It's Rockford, Illinois, Joliet, Illinois, Cleveland, Ohio, then Columbus, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio, then Columbus. Did I get those right?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yes.
It's almost like I work there, but I don't, but I just knew the dates.
Hey, you know what you like. You know what you like, and you're gonna know that information for what you like.
Everyone knows I love JCW and I love the Juggalo lifestyle. Whoop whoop. Yeah. So don't forget to follow her on Real Dani Mo, RealDanimo. And do you have any messages for the viewers and your fans and non-fans?
Oh my, I don't know. Be nice to one another. Follow me, follow JCW, follow every wrestler on the JCW roster. Like everybody has their own unique personality, and like everybody's social media is so different from one another. But like whether they're good guy, bad guy, the tweener, like follow everybody because everybody has such great content, and follow the YouTube. It's through Psychopathic Records YouTube. All of our lunacy episodes are up there, and then we do have pay-per-views on Fight on Triller. So go back and rewatch all of them. Like it's so fun, and everyone is there's good storylines. There's good. It's just it's fun, and you'll get to see a little bit of everything.
Whoop, whoop. See, I did it. See, Dr.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
I feel like I'm not great at it. I you gotta like get a little deeper. It's like little like woo. But it's fun. The first time I yelled it, I was so scared. I was going up for my finisher, which was my rope walk cross body, and I went up, I flexed, and I yelled whoop whoop, and everybody did it. And in that moment, I felt so cool. I know it's probably so lame to say, but like I was like, I feel welcomed. Like that made me feel welcome, and that like helped. I don't know. I loved it. It was a really cool moment for like the first time ever doing it.
I think like having a bottle of Faygo soda and the Faygo hot dog could make you also feel really welcome. I didn't know what to expect at Horror Slam because there were juggalos there, but it was actually very normal. And it wasn't crazy.
So normal.
I know.
Normal.
They're normal to us, but not to everyone else.
That's fair. You know, also so fun, like at the end of the ICP concerts, I call it Faygo-geddon, but I know it's Faygo Armageddon. That shit is so fun. I was on the Train of Terror tour. I was so nervous to do it, like, because I didn't know how to do it. So I just like watched, and I'm like, okay, because I'd only been to one ICP concert years ago in Pittsburgh, and I was so scared because like I've broken my face, and these bottles come fucking flying at you. But it's like a badge of honor if you get hit, and like the whole thing if you get hit. Yeah. And so I got to be on stage and like doing it, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And like everybody's up there. If you're slipping and sliding and falling, somebody's gonna help you up. Like if there's a bunch of bottles and everybody's grabbing one and you missed out, like somebody's gonna hand you a bottle. Like so it's like everybody's there just to have fun, get Faygo everywhere, just spray it everywhere. It's so fun. So if you ever get the chance, because like once you climb over the guardrail and you go up, but also the VIPs get to go up from back, and opportunity you've never the VIP, you should definitely do that. That's always a really cool experience. The VIP and or just be so close up front to just get sprayed. It's a lot of fun, and it again. I never thought I would be that I've done in the last 12 years. Never in my life thought I would experience, and here we are.
Well, wait a second. Backtrack a second. Sorry to rewind on this, but hang on. Do they do this to you while you're wrestling? Do they do the spraying of the
No, this is only at concerts. This has nothing to do with JCW. But on the Train of Terror tour, we performed, and then it went into the concerts. So got to like experience like wrestling, and then we would take the ring down, and then the concerts would happen, and then at the end, the Faygo Armageddon.
Okay.
But yeah, not at JCW, but you have an actual ICP concert to experience that, and that's again, it's a whole part of the experience. It's like it's more than just this freaking show, than just a concert.
I feel like I'd have fun with that, as much fun as I have pepper spraying people in the face randomly. So yeah, I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
No, John Jay sent me a box of pepper spray, and I was I emptied out like one can because I was just spraying it in the street randomly to see how far it goes and how great it was. People looked at me like, okay, yeah.
Were you purposely spraying people or like in like an enclosed area? That shit gets everywhere.
I was spraying it in the street to see how far it goes and how high. I did not hit anyone by accident. I did spray someone in the face when they were close enough to me. It was either that or a knife. I was not in an open carry state, so I think a gun would have been illegal. But yeah, just that was fun.
Okay.
I guess you can't go pepper spraying people randomly because that might be illegal. So I'm gonna probably not do that. But I could do Faygo, and that would be just fine, right? I could take Faygo and go.
People might be pretty pissed if it's outside of the concert, but fuck it.
We don't want to.
Fuck it.
I think I'll try to experience ICP one day, and definitely I will make it out to a JCW show at some point or another. So don't forget, guys, visit Dani online, real Dani Mo, DANIMO. Make sure you catch out the upcoming JCW shows, March 6th, 7th, and 8th, Las Vegas, New Mexico. No, Las Vegas, Phoenix, and New Mexico. And then they have their shows in April, late April. It's Rockford, Illinois, Joliet, then Cleveland, Ohio, then Columbus, Ohio. Get your mullets, get your Faygos, get your Pimenti Brothers sandwiches or Polish sausages. Oh, right? I like Pimenti food in the world.
They are good. Next time you're in Pittsburgh, we'll have to go get one.
Absolutely. So thanks for joining me tonight. Have a safe.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And take care. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
So yeah, that was actually a lot of fun. So she's someone I met at Horror Slam, and that is a fun company to work for in Michigan. So I know John Jay is there doing this LOL. Yes, you gave me that can. You gave me those small cans of pepper spray. So you've basically unleashed a monster. You've unleashed a vigilant street hero. Anyway, everyone. So yeah. Have fun, and I just have to get her off the studio. There we go. So have fun, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube page, and go ahead and subscribe to my Apple Crazy Train podcast with Jasmin St. Clair. That's Crazy with a K. Every Wednesday, we just had Steve Carino on as a guest. So next week's guest, I totally forgot who it is. I'm like still amped up. Can you believe I just had coffee or espresso? I can't believe it at this hour of the night. I'm probably not going to get to sleep tonight. But anyway, good night, Jamal. Good night, Paul. Good night, John Jay. Goodbye, newbies. So have a happy Monday. And most of all, don't forget to stay frosty.